What would you do if you were lost in the wilderness? It's a question that might send a shiver down your spine, but in reality, it's a situation that anyone could face. The wilderness, with its untamed beauty, is also a domain of unpredictability and potential danger. That's where survival skills come into play. They are the lifelines that could turn a desperate situation into a story of resilience and triumph. In this guide, we will embark on a journey to explore the essentials of wilderness survival. From learning to create a shelter that shields you from harsh weather, to procuring water and food, making fire, administering basic first aid, navigating through unknown terrain, and even protecting yourself from environmental hazards. We'll also delve into how to communicate effectively when in need of rescue. These skills don't just empower you, they could save your life. Today, you will learn how to survive in the wilderness. First things first, you need to find or build shelter. In the embrace of the wilderness, shelter becomes your immediate sanctuary. It's your first line of defense against the unpredictable elements of nature. More than just a roof over your head, a decent shelter can provide insulation, concealment, and a sense of home in an otherwise formidable environment. You might chance upon natural shelters, such as caves, hollow stumps, or fallen trees, but don't rely on luck alone. Learn to fashion your own shelter using what the wilderness generously offers: branches, leaves, or even snow. The key is to use your ingenuity and the resources around you. A well-built shelter can mean the difference between a cold, sleepless night and a restful slumber. It can protect you from rain, wind, or even an unexpected snowfall. Remember, in the wilderness, it's not about comfort. It's about survival. A good shelter is your first defense against the elements. Water, a crucial element for survival, is our next focus. When you're out there, in the heart of the wilderness, knowing how to procure water is as essential as breathing. But it's not just about finding water, it's about finding clean, drinkable water. Streams, rivers and lakes are obvious sources, but be mindful of the quality. Stagnant water bodies often harbour harmful bacteria. Rainwater, if you can collect it, is a safer bet. Digging a hole in a damp area can also yield water. Once you've located a water source, purification is paramount. Boiling water is a tried and true method. If you can't start a fire, a solar still can be a lifesaver. It's a simple contraption that uses the sun's heat to evaporate and condense water, leaving impurities behind. Remember, staying hydrated is crucial in a survival situation. It helps maintain your body's functions and keeps your mind sharp. Stay hydrated, stay alive. Now let's talk about fire. In the wilderness, fire is your best friend. It's not only a source of heat, warding off hypothermia and keeping predators at bay, but it also purifies water and cooks food. So how do we start one? First, gather your materials. You'll need tinder, dry leaves, grass or bark, kindling and larger pieces of wood to keep the fire going. Now onto the ignition. Matches or a lighter are the easiest option, but what if you don't have them? Don't fret, you can use a fire starter or perhaps a flint and steel. Even a pair of glasses or a water bottle can concentrate sunlight into a focused beam, igniting dry tinder. Remember, practice makes perfect. Try these techniques at home before you need them in a survival situation. Firemaking is a skill, and like all skills, it improves with practice. Mastering firemaking can significantly increase your chances of survival. Food is your next priority. While the wilderness may seem barren at first glance, it's actually teeming with potential food sources. The trick is knowing where to look and what to look for. Edible plants are abundant, from roots and berries to nuts and seeds. It's essential, however, to familiarize yourself with local vegetation, as some can be toxic if consumed. Insects, too, can provide a valuable protein boost. Ants, beetles, and even certain types of grubs can be eaten raw or cooked over a fire. But remember, brightly colored insects are usually a sign of danger, so stay clear of those. If you're near a body of water, fishing can be a reliable food source. Basic fishing techniques like spearfishing or creating a simple fish trap can yield a worthwhile catch. For those with a bit more experience, small game hunting could be an option. With the right knowledge, the wilderness can provide you with plenty of food. Injuries are common in survival situations. It's an unfortunate reality, but one that you need to prepare for. Basic first aid knowledge is fundamental. It begins with understanding how to treat minor injuries. Wounds, for instance, need to be cleaned immediately to prevent infection. Use clean water if available and mild soap. If you have a first aid kit, use antiseptic wipes. Next is the application of bandages. It's not just about slapping a bandage on a wound. You need to ensure the bandage is clean and applied securely to prevent further contamination. Remember, the goal is to protect the wound from dirt and bacteria while it heals. In more severe cases, where bleeding is substantial, applying pressure to the wound with a clean cloth can help control it. And if possible, elevate the wound above the level of the heart to slow down blood flow. Remember, proper first aid can mean the difference between life and death. So arm yourself with this knowledge and stay safe out there. Getting lost is easy. Finding your way back, not so much. In the wilderness, the ability to orient oneself and navigate is a fundamental survival skill. Natural landmarks are your best friends here. Mountains, rivers, trees, or any distinct feature of the landscape can serve as guideposts. Next, let's talk about the sun. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west, which is a universal truth that can help you identify directions. In the morning, the sun's position signifies east, while in the evening it points towards west. Now, on to map reading. Maps are a treasure trove of information, but only if you know how to interpret them. Understanding how to read a topographic map, for instance, can be incredibly useful. These maps use contour lines to represent the three-dimensional features of the landscape on a two-dimensional surface, giving you a lay of the land at a glance. Remember, always keep track of your direction. The wilderness is full of dangers and you need to protect yourself. Now let's dive into how you can tackle environmental hazards that might get in your way. First off, let's talk about snakes. It's essential to familiarize yourself with local snake species, and remember, it's always safer to give them a wide berth rather than trying to handle them. Next up, we have insects. Insect bites can be more than just annoying, they can also carry diseases. Use insect repellents, wear long sleeves, and check your body regularly for ticks. Lastly, poisonous plants. Knowing how to identify harmful flora is a must. Poison ivy, oak, and sumac are common culprits in North America, so learn their distinctive features. Remember, prevention is key. Equip yourself with the right knowledge, dress appropriately, and always be cautious. This way you'll be better prepared to handle whatever the wilderness throws at you. Staying safe in the wilderness requires knowledge and caution. When all is said and done, you need to get back to civilization. A crucial survival skill is knowing how to effectively communicate in case of emergencies. This involves more than just shouting for help. You need to understand emergency signaling and how to use different communication tools. For instance, creating a signal fire can be a lifesaver. This is done by adding green leaves or plastic to a fire to create smoke that can be seen from a distance. Another method is using mirrors or reflective objects to catch the attention of rescuers during daylight. In some cases, you might have access to a radio. Knowing how to use it to broadcast an SOS signal can be the difference between life and death. Even without these tools, understanding basic ground-to-air signals can help you attract the attention of passing aircraft. Always remember, in the wilderness, your voice is your most powerful tool. Use it wisely and effectively. Communication is your ticket home. Surviving in the wilderness is a challenge, but with the right skills, you can make it. We've taken you on a journey through the basic tactics and skills necessary for survival in the wild. From creating a safe shelter and locating water sources, to starting a fire and identifying food sources. We've discussed essential first aid knowledge and how to navigate using natural landmarks. We've also covered how to protect yourself from environmental hazards and the importance of effective communication for rescue. But remember, this is just a guide. It's crucial to continue learning, practicing, and honing these survival skills. Expand your knowledge, take survival courses, and practice these skills in safe and controlled environments. The wilderness can be unpredictable, but with the right preparation and mindset, you can turn a challenge into an adventure. Remember, preparation is the key to survival. Stay safe out there.